coming in. I appreciate that. Couldn't do it without you. Well, as you know, today is Special Edition Friday, and we have a special treat for you, of course. And you know what day it is? It is
Challenge Day.
Challenge Day, that's right. But before we get to the main event, we're going to cover today's agenda, talk about a few things, and then we will reveal the special main event. All right? So let's jump right into it. Of course, you know the attendance. All right, make sure that you log in, get those attendance points by clicking on one of these choices down here. Tell me whether or not you've got your STEM project completed and sent to Mr. Wright, or if you are still working on your STEM project. And please send me a good presentation video of you showing your awesome STEM project. I can't wait to see more of those coming in. Already have had some awesome projects turned into me, so I am excited to get those in, put that iMovie together, and so we can really showcase those skills that you guys have. So let's go ahead and jump into this first assignment for today. What do you think, Phoenix?
Okay.
All right, today, daily geography. Okay, as you know, we're talking about the physical map of California. This teaching page here gives you a lot of information, talks about the San Andreas fault line. It also gives you some other facts that you want to read through there. Most importantly, you want to review that vocabulary area. We have channel, fault, geopolitical map, Gulf, landform, physical map, and valley. You know that a physical map is a map that shows natural landforms in water on the Earth's surface. So review that vocabulary. You're going to be using some of those things maybe in your answer, so make sure you get those down. So let's go ahead and jump in. Of course, we have your map, okay, which is the map of California.
Holy cow, that's far away.
California is pretty far from Kansas, right? So we have our key or legend that shows all our different symbols that are represented on the map. A couple of things that I do want to go over with you real quick. Of course, we have that San Andreas fault line that kind of comes through right here. That causes a lot of earthquakes in California. Did you know that? Man, earthquakes are pretty serious in California due to this crack in the Earth's crust. Whenever the plates shift, it vibrates and sends basically tremors through the ground, which shakes everything above it. So earthquakes, they can be pretty damaging, huh? Well, so a couple of things. Make sure that you're aware of all the deserts that are located in here, the mountain ranges. Also, you have these San Francisco bays, other little areas. San Francisco. We also have down here, I want you to take note, which is the channel of islands down here. All right? It's kind of a chain of islands. It's called Channel Islands. So kind of keep that in mind. You're going to end up using that bit of information right here on this map for one of your questions. So let's go ahead and jump into your questions. You are only doing Wednesday's questions today. Kind of keeping it simple for you. You only have 2 questions on this, and then that is all. So number 1, it says, how many islands are shown on the map? What is the name of the group of islands? So this is a 2-part question, so you kind of need to make sure that you touch base on both of these. How many islands are shown on the map? Well, I just got done talking about where you can find that information. So refer back to it, count those islands up, and then it says, what is the name of the group of islands? And I kind of gave you a clue to that as well. So it's all on that map. Make sure you refer back to it. You can put both of these answers in one sentence. You can say, there are blank islands shown on the map, and the name is, and you can kind of figure out a way to put all of that into one sentence by restating the question, or you can make it 2 separate sentences, but just make sure that you use part of the question in both of those sentences if you go ahead and choose to do that route. Either way is fine. Most importantly, Phoenix, I tell you what, a couple of times I still get some papers where we don't have punctuations on the end of our sentences, and sometimes capitalization. Remember, those are those really easy points that you are giving up just by not checking over your sentences. Remember, we have that checklist in our portfolio that was taped down on our desk that you can use to go through those sentences, because that's what we did when we were in class, and make sure that it's kind of a checklist. You're going through and making sure you have everything to have a good, complete 4th grade sentence. So, on the question 2, what is the name of the inland sea and which city is it closest to? If you notice, this is another 2-part question. You know what an inland sea is? It's basically a sea that is inland, okay? So you are going to go to the map and you're going to look inland. Okay, you have the Pacific Ocean over here, but you also have somewhere in this area that is called an inland sea, and it actually has sea in the name. So you can find that on the map, right?
And I think I know where volcanoes are in Hawaii.
Oh, yeah. They're basically the chain of islands of Hawaii basically were formed by volcanoes. So, great job. That's an interesting fact. Thank you for sharing that with us. All right, so you guys just have those 2 questions. Make sure you have those good complete sentences, and you are done with daily geography. Okay, so next, the next assignment is going to be comparing fractions, clue 2. All right, so you're going to find this in your packet. Both of these are in your packet, so hopefully you have those in front of you right now, and you are kind of running through these with me, and that way you can make sure that you're kind of getting these answers, because I'm going to go through here and do a couple of quick examples with you, show you how we compare fractions with unlike denominators, and make sure that you read the directions. It says circle the greater fraction in each brick. So they give you 2 fractions in a brick. You're circling the greater fraction, okay? And I'm going to show you how to figure out which one is greater than, less than. And then place the letter on top of the brick into one of the boxes down below. And that's going to help you solve that clue for the day. So the very first one that I'm going to help you with is, let me bring this up. All right, so the very first one that I'm going to help you with. Now, you're going to need a sheet of paper. It can be a piece of line notebook paper, or it can just be a blank piece of printer paper, but I'm going to need you to show your work on a separate sheet of paper. There is just not enough room to show your work on this paper here. There's just not enough room. So don't cram it all on here, because then it makes it really hard for me to see in a picture and grade it. So use a separate sheet of paper, and then you can take a picture of that with your assignment and send both of those to me so that I can see your work on these particular problems. So the first one we're going to talk about is letter N. These aren't numbered, so on your work page, just make sure that you are representing your work by the letter of the problem that you are working with. I know usually they're numbered and I would have you number them, but in this case they're letters. So letter N is the one I'm going to help you with first, which if you are looking at your paper, letter N is right here, okay? So let's take a look at this. We are comparing, Phoenix, we are comparing 3/10 and 3/4, okay? One of the strategies that you can use when comparing fractions with unlike denominators, okay, is we use a benchmark of 1/2. So we look at these fractions and we think, is there a fraction, one of these bigger than 1/2 and one of them smaller than 1/2? If that's the case, we can actually go ahead and solve this problem without having to find the least common multiple. So I draw my little number line down here. I start with 0 and I go to 1. In the middle would be 1/2, okay? So then I think about my denominator is 10. 1/2 of 10 is 5. Well, I have 3 here. 3 is less than 5. So that means this fraction, 3/10, is less than 1/2. And it's going to be on this side of 1/2 on the number line. So 3/10. And then I know that 1/2 of 4 is 2. Well, I have 3 here. 3 is more than 2, isn't it? Okay, so therefore I know that 3/4 is bigger than 1/2 because I have 3 out of my 4. Okay, so 3/4 goes on this side. Well, now that tells me which fraction is bigger, okay? And this 3/4 is greater than 3/10. Now, it said to circle the larger fraction. So I'm going to circle that in my work, and then I'm going to go back to my worksheet, and I am going to circle 3/4 on this worksheet, okay? So I have it on this other page, actually. So I have 3/4, and I just go ahead and I circle that. I'm going to make a better circle, okay? And then you're done, okay? Now, I think it's not on this one. Thanks for the reminder, though. You're good. You're a good helper, man. I tell you what, I couldn't do these videos without you, buddy. And I know the kids love you, so thank you for joining us. All right, we'll jump into another problem here real quick. Now this, okay, in this particular one, I am doing letter S, and it's 1/12 comparing it to 1/5. This situation, you cannot use your benchmark of 1/2 to compare these fractions. Why? Because half of 12 is 6. Well, I have 1. That's less than half. Half of 5 is actually 2.5. Well, I have 1. That's less than a half too. So that benchmark doesn't help me because both of these fractions are less than a half. Okay? So therefore, I have to find the least common multiple. And to speed up the process here, I've already done the multiples down here. You know, multiples are the counting numbers that are multiplied times the number you're finding the multiple for. So, and I'm basically just counting by that number. So if I'm doing multiples of 5 and multiples of 12, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And if I know my multiplication facts, I know the least common multiple is going to be 60 because that is the first number that both of these multiples have in common. So my LCM equals 60. Okay? So that means that I am going to convert both of these, okay, fractions to a denominator with 60. And when I think about that, I have to think, okay, what can I multiply times 5 to get 60? All right, well, your answer is kind of down here. If you don't know your facts that well, you can actually count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'd have to take 5 times 12 to get 60. I've got to be fair. What I do to my denominator, I have to do to my numerator. So I take 1 times 12, okay? Now, 1 times 12 is 12. So, my equivalent fraction to 1/5 with a 60 in the denominator is 12 60ths. Now I think, what do I have to multiply times 12 to get 60? Well, I have to multiply times 5. It's basically the opposite of what I have here. So what I do to the denominator, I have to be fair and do to the numerator. 1 times 5 is 5. So now I have these two fractions in common denominators. This makes my life easy because all I have to do is look at my numerators, and 12 is bigger than 5, isn't it? I'd rather have $12 than I would $5, wouldn't you?
I got a lot.
You got a lot of money. Let me borrow some money, will you? Oh, man, okay. Well, thanks anyway. All right, so therefore 12/6 is greater than, or 12/60ths is greater than 5/60ths. Okay, so I'm going to circle that. Okay, that means that 1/5 is bigger than 1/12. So there's my answer. So I go back to my worksheet here, and I'm going to circle 1/5 because it is bigger. Now I go down below, I find all of the 1/5 answers, and I put an S there, okay, to help me solve the puzzle. All right, last one real quick, okay? Last one is easy. It's using a benchmark of 1 whole, okay? Well, if I have the same numerator as I do denominator, that is equal to 1 whole because I have all the pieces to my fraction. So I can simply use my benchmark of 1 whole to think, well, this is equal to 1. 5/5 is equal to 1 whole. All right? 3/4 is not equal to 1 whole. It's smaller because I only have 3 out of the 4 parts. So therefore, that automatically tells me that 5/5 is greater than 3/4. And there is my answer. And that one is letter L. So make sure, like I said, on your work page, you are labeling your work with the letter of the problem that you're working, okay? And then I just simply circle 5/5. I'm going to go down below, and I'm going to put an L everywhere I see a 5/5, okay? So those are the 3 strategies that you can use when comparing fractions. Pretty simple, right, Phoenix?
Yep.
All right, well, this will help you out. Like I said, guys, utilize these videos, hit that pause button, rewind, and go back over anything that you're needing help with. A lot of these are going to be able to, you're going to be able to use the benchmark of a half, but some of them you will have to use LCM and convert to common denominators like I did on that second example. So as you move along, remember those two and show your work. All right, let's go back over the agenda to see what else we have as reminders. How's that sound?
Good.
All right, so we've already got your 2 assignments, your math assignment and your daily geography. So you're going to knock those out. If you have any other assignments that you owe me, you need to make sure you get those to me today. And then as well as you know your STEM project is due today, please get those documentations emailed or text message to me with a good presentation of your video using the WeTransfer that I sent out to your parents so we get some good video quality.
Oh yeah.
Okay? So, now it is time for...
The main event!
That's right, the main event. So for your viewing pleasure, because you guys worked so hard and Phoenix and I are super proud and are willing to do anything to show you how proud we are, it is time to see what happens.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Hey kids, we're back with a really cool video!
You know what day it is. We are back. Welcome back, Wright Class. And today is our special day. You guys did it again. 100% participation and excellent work getting handed in. So you guys deserve this special video. As promised, I've got two assault people here that are going to spray me down with some colored water with some dye in it. And I'm going to attempt to jump over this fence. And I have not tried it yet. Have I, guys? Nope. So we're going to see how that goes. And like I said, Phoenix and I couldn't be more proud of the hard work you guys are doing. And we hope this brings some laughter and some motivation to you. Please keep up the good work. And next week, we're going to make it an even better week. And we'll set a new goal. So keep it up, guys. I'm so proud of you. And I think it is time for me to get wasted by some water guns, I think,
Blue
right?
and red.
All right, Phoenix has got red in his. We have Elijah here. He's a special guest. We appreciate him joining us. I'm sure he's having a good time with this. He was in my class last year, so some payback, of course.
I'm getting a little tricky.
He's got some blue in his, so we got those bullpup colors going. And I think it's time. What do you think?
Oh yeah, right.
I agree.
Let's do it. All right, get over there. All right, boys, let me have it.
I'm making it have a color shirt.
Oh, all right, here we go.
You got a tie-dye shirt.
I did it.
I got you. Oh, no,
All right.
I think I'm right now.
Well, hopefully you enjoyed that, guys. You definitely earned it, and I appreciate all your hard work. Thanks to my special sniper rifle guys here. They did a great job soaking me down. We will vote for the next challenge next week, and you know how what Phoenix always says. What do you always say?
Do good on your work and don't be sloppy.
And don't be sloppy. Stay tuned. Thanks, guys.
How did you guys like that?
Man, I don't know how much I liked it, but it was pretty cold, and you ruined one of my brand new white shirts with your blue and red Super Soaker guns.
Yep.
Man, well, I guess they were at least bullpup colors, right?
Yeah.
Well, anything we can do to show our appreciation and to award you guys with some type of entertainment to express our sense of proudness at your hard work, we are willing to do that and have some fun. That's what it's all about, learning and having fun, most importantly. So, we appreciate everything you've done. I will make a new post that you guys can throw some more ideas for next week's challenge, and then I'll kind of gather those up. We'll do another post where you guys vote for which one you want to do, and then next week is going to be an even better week than what this week was. We're going to keep building on that momentum and see how many consecutive days of perfect attendance and excellent work we can get. Ain't that right? Well, Phoenix and I just want to say we are super proud, right, bud?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, keep up the good work, and thanks for tuning in. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Until next time, like Phoenix says, work hard and
Don't be sloppy.
don't get sloppy. Stay tuned. Have a good weekend, guys.